to determine whether you willfully committed this crime of tax evasion, SARS must be able to prove that you committed this crime willfully. You were aware of your actions. You knew exactly what you were doing. Tax evasion is the act of illegally minimizing or avoiding tax liabilities in their entirety in a way that is contrary or forbidden by the law. This act involves a person or a trader engaging in fraudulent activities. Act that involves criminal deception, such as providing false information and misleading SARS. Those caught avoiding tax are generally subject to criminal charges and substantial penalties. During November-December, I've been seeing a lot of them, the famous ones and the elite ones, being caught in taxes. SARS been doing a lot of work during November-December. Many people were invaded, many people appeared in courts. A lot's been happening in terms of taxes. And as a forex trader, especially if you are starting out, you need to make sure that you get your tax story right from the beginnings to minimize headache for yourself. Tax evasion can be the illegal non-payment or illegal underpayment of the actual required tax from you. Meaning you can choose to not pay tax at all, or you can pay tax but not the actual tax that you're supposed to pay. So you can hide other money and pay some money. This both equals to tax evasion. To determine tax evasion, SARS is the agency in South Africa that must be able to show that the illegal mispayments of tax was done willfully by the taxpayer. The South African Revenue Service, which is SARS, is the nation's tax collecting authority. It was established in terms of South African Revenue Service Act 34 of 1997 as an autonomous agency. They are the agency responsible for administering the tax system and customs service. Recently, they just rose up the percentage that business owners must pay, or even customers, because some of us shop online when it comes to our clothes and our home maintenances. And if you do shop online, you would know that customs has been raised up. Custom fees are up. And SARS is the agency responsible for such things and tax. Meaning that to determine whether you willfully committed this crime of tax evasion, SARS must be able to prove that you committed this crime willfully. You were aware of your actions. You knew exactly what you were doing when you were doing this. And trust and believe, it is very easy for SARS to gather up that information and proof. Now, when tax evasion is illegal, but tax avoidance is not illegal. Tax avoidance means finding legal ways within the law to reduce taxpayer obligations. Now, to know more about tax avoidance, I have already compiled some videos. They'll be in the description box. Go ahead and check them out. They're already here on the channel. Now, failure to pay proper taxes can lead to criminal charges. Not only can a person be required to pay taxes that were left unpaid, and that can come in a form of seizing your entire house and cars so that SARS can get the money that they were supposed to get from you and that you didn't actually pay willfully. But you can also be required to serve jail time for not paying your taxes. But what qualifies the tax evasion? What is it that you must do in order for SARS to say that you have committed this criminal activity? Now, variety of factors are considered when it comes to this, but most commonly a taxpayer's financial situation. In an effort to confirm that the non-payment was actually the result of committing fraud or the concealment of reportable income. Failure to pay may be judged fraudulent if a person, or if as a forex trader you made an effort to conceal assets and putting your assets in somebody else's name. Depending on how you're doing this may also be causing you more troubles, because you may even find yourself being jailed for identity theft. A person may also be judged as concealing income if you failed to report work that did not follow the traditional payment for goods or services rendered. So if you are trading forex, but you also mentor people on side, those payments must also be there on your logbook. So if you don't report that income, you may be judged concealing of tax and guilty of tax evasion. Other example of tax evasion includes underreporting income. This simply means that you are reporting less than you earn. So if you earned perhaps like 50,000, you are only reporting 25,000 and putting or hiding the or if your revenue annually was 1,700,000, you are only reporting 1 million and finding ways of hiding the 700,000. This system analyzes tax returns based on the systems of factors to determine a tax return's potential for unreported income. The next one is claiming credits you are not entitled to. A taxpayer is entitled to tax rebates that are deducted from tax payable. The rebates have the effect of establishing tax thresholds. Tax rebates is actually a system that seeks to provide relief to taxpayers by reducing their tax liabilities. It's not like tax deductions, which lowers only taxable income, but rebates directly affects tax payable. Examples of tax rebates are medical scheme fees tax credits, which also known as MTC. MTC is a rebate which within itself is non-refundable. Types of qualifying medical expenses that are tax deductible involves medical expenses that are not covered by a medical scheme, like medical or dental consultations or surgical procedures and hospitalization costs. This can also include a visit to an optometrist and many more. But you must make sure that you are doing those medical visits and checkups to a registered medical center. But claiming credits you are not legally entitled to is tax evasion, and you can be jailed for that. Other traders, investors, and business owners commit this tax fraud by claiming residency in other country. I did mention in one of my previous videos that even if you don't live in South Africa, but if you are still a South African resident, you must pay South African tax. Whether you live in Namibia or you live in Dubai or you live in America, you must still pay tax in South Africa. I know, it does not sound right, but it is what it is. South Africa has a residence-based tax system, which means residents are subject to certain exclusions. So in your worldwide income, regardless of where your income was earned, you must still pay the South African tax. I also saw somewhere that people who are living in South Africa but are originally from other countries also pay South African tax, but I'm not too sure about this and I did not verify this. But if you are from another country and you are living in South Africa, please do comment down below and tell us if you are also being taxed here in South Africa or not. I hope you did learn something new from this video, and if you did, make sure that you press that like button. May the peace of God rule in your heart. I'll see you on the next video.